Namaskar, welcome back to Math Circles. I am Radhika, and in the previous video we discussed about the monotonic sequence. So let's take an example of monotonic sequence के हम इसकी definition से how definition is actually helpful to decide that whether the sequence is monotonically increasing, decreasing, or the sequence is convergent or divergent. Okay, so I already have written an example that you need to show the real sequence xn where the first term is xn is equal to 1 and the xn plus 1 term is twice of xn plus 3 over 4. So for all n belongs to capital N is convergent. We need to show that it is a convergent sequence. So let's see that. First we know that x1 is equal to 1, that is already given. Let's find x2. So x2, that means for here we need to put xn is equal to 1. That makes it x2 is equal to twice of x1 plus 3 divided by 4, and we already know that the value of x1 is what? 5. The value of x1 is 1. That makes it 5 over 4. So now we have the second term of the sequence. Now let's see कि third term हमारी क्या है. So x3 is equal to twice of x2, twice of x2 plus 3 divided by 4. That makes it twice, and x3 is what? 5 by 4 and plus 3 and divided by 4. Right, अब इसको simplify कर देते हैं. When you will simplify it, you will get 11 by 8. Okay, so now as I can see that the first term x1 is less than x2 is less than x3. That means the 1 is less than 5 by 4 is less than 11 by 8. The sequence is slightly increasing. So, but for sure we know that these three numbers are lesser than 2, right? So let's see, this is less than 2. All these numbers are what? Less than 2. That means xn is less than xn plus 1 and is less than what? 2. Now let's multiply 2 in the entire equation. Okay, sorry, the sequence is what? Xn plus 1, xn minus 1 and xn. Yes. Now in the entire equation, let's multiply it by 2. That means 2xn minus 1 and is less than of twice of xn is less than 4. Now add 3, xn minus 1 plus 3, and let's divide it by 4 as well. So twice of xn plus 3 divided by 4 is less than 7 by 4. So as we can see, and which is again less than 2. So by mathematical induction we can say that this entire sequence is what? Less than 2. So 2 would be your upper bound. 2 would be your upper bound of the monotonic sequence, and as well as since we are getting that the entire number is less than the entire sequence is less than what? 7 by 4, you can say 2. That means the sequence is what? Convergent. The sequence is what? First we got that it is monotonically increasing because as we are increasing the value of x, the value of the function is also increasing. And second thing, we saw that the sequence is convergent and it is converging at the point it is convergent and this upper bound is 2. We still don't know that what is the at what point it is converging, what is the limit of this sequence, but one thing for sure we know that it is converging, it is convergent and the upper bound is 2. Now let's find out, since I have not mentioned the question but still we do that. We know that the 2 is the upper bound, but we don't know for sure that whether it is the limit or not of the function, right? So let's see that whether 2 is the limit of this function or not. So for this, let that limit n tends to infinity xn is equal to limit n tends to infinity xn plus 1. Since our function is given in the form of x plus 1, that's why I'm taking it. And let's consider that since the both are converging, like the sequence is convergent, let the convergent, then it converges to L. Okay, because if xn is also converging to L, then it means xn plus 1 will also converge to L. Now limit x tends to infinity xn plus 1 is equal to what? Limit n tends to infinity twice of xn plus 3 over 4. The value of this is what? L. And here if you will simplify it, so definitely you can take this limit to the numerator as well as in the denominator. So when you will separate it with this, you will get 2L plus 3 by 4. That makes it 4L is equal to 2L plus 3. That means 2L is equal to 3. That means L is equal to 3 over 2. So see, the sequence is monotonically increasing, the upper bound is 2, but the sequence is converging to 3 over 2. So it means the value of this sequence will not exceed the value from 3 over 2. Okay, so this is how we use the monotonic definition to see that whether our sequence is convergent or our sequence is divergent. Okay, so let's move to the next topic. So our next topic is subsequence. So what is subsequence? Subsequence actually is a formation from the original sequence. That means you are taking some terms out from the original sequence and you are making another sequence. That's the new sequence, you will call it as a subsequence. But that should be in the same order of the original sequence, that you need to remember. Okay, so first let's generalizing it. Okay, so I have considered a sequence xn. Now I have taken that p is equal to pk is an increasing sequence of natural number. Okay, now that means p1 is less than p2 is less than p3, since it is an increasing sequence. So now I have made another sequence x dash, that is from these terms xp1, xp2, xp3 and so on. Okay, now let me take a particular example. I'll take a very simple example, that is a natural number. Okay, so we know that the natural number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a sequence of a natural number, right? Now for this, what I'm taking p as twice of n. Okay, I'm taking p as twice of n. Now twice of n means what would be the terms? If you will put n is equal to 1, you will get 2. If you will put n is equal to 4, you will get 4. And if you will put n is equal to 3, that means you will get 6. That means your second term, your fourth term, your sixth term. So now your x dash. Now what is your x dash? Your x dash has become 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. See, I have taken some members from the original sequence and I have formed another sequence, but the order is quite same, because here and you can see the difference is 1 and I have made a sequence where the difference is what? 2. So basically I am using the same order to make a new sequence and we call it a subsequence. So in the next video we'll talk about some theorems or some examples related to subsequence. So I hope आप सबको ये अच्छे से समझ में आया होगा, and if you have any doubt you can write it in the comment box, you can mail me, choose whatever way you want, and if you did understand it properly, please like, subscribe and share it with your friends. Thank you so much.
Please like, subscribe and share it with your friends, and for latest updates click on the bell icon. Thank you.